جزاكم الله خير. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Before we begin, another dua request. The wife of Dr. Irshad, a couple of days ago we made the announcement that she's very sick. Today she's actually in the hospital. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant her shifa. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant her family patience. Please keep her and all the murid in our community, all the people that are sick in the hospital, please keep them all in your du'as in these blessed days and nights. Today, inshallah, we will finish our recitation of Surah Al-Nahl. We'll recite Surah Al-Isra or Surah Bani Israel, depending on which mushaf you use. And we will start the recitation of Surah Al-Kahf. And we're actually going to cross the halfway point of the Quran. The word وَلْيَتَلَطَّفْ is the halfway point of the Quran. And subhanAllah, already we just started and we're going to be done with half the Quran today. So may Allah accept. The subject matter of the surahs that we're discussing, it's very interesting the way these surahs are arranged in the Quran. Yesterday we recited Surah Ibrahim. And one ayah there, if you were paying attention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. That if you were to count the blessings of Allah, actually not even blessings, He uses the singular. If you were to count just one blessing of Allah, if you were to sit and fully appreciate one blessing of Allah, you would not be able to do it. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَظَلُومٌ كَفَّارٌ. Indeed, mankind is ever ungrateful. And in the same surah earlier, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you were just grateful, we will increase you, give you even more to what you already have. And we recited this yesterday in Surah Ibrahim. And today we're reciting the majority of Surah Al-Nahl. And it's almost as if over here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you will never appreciate your blessings. And then two surahs later, in Surah Al-Nahl, the majority of the surah is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describing in vivid detail, almost listing for us blessing after blessing after blessing of everything He gives us subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every single thing that we take for granted. We wake up every day and we take these things for granted. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala points out, from your transportation, to the food that you eat, to the homes that you live in, to your families, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala picks apart every single thing. And over again He says, look at this, look at that, look at this that I gave you. What did you do to deserve this? Are you appreciative of this? And we're just going to take a select few ayat to really highlight this message that He gives throughout this surah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sums up our life. He says, وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَكُمْ ثُمَّ يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ. The greatest blessing of all, just to be alive with Islam. He creates you, ثُمَّ يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ, and then He gives you death. وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُرَدُّ إِلَىٰ أَرْذَلِ الْعُمُرِ لِكَيْ لَا يَعْلَمَ بَعْدَ عِلْمٍ شَيْئًا. And in this process, some of you get to a point, if you live long enough, that you go back to like you were when you were a baby. If old age afflicts you, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from that. But some of you can, with age, go back to that same stage that you were when you were a baby. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, so this life and this intellect that He gives you is a blessing. In the next ayah He continues, وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَكُمْ مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. That Allah creates from yourself your spouses. And again, things that we unfortunately take for granted. When was the last time we sat down and thanked Allah for our spouse, for our children, our families? And He says, وَجَعَلَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَزْوَاجِكُمْ بَنِينَ وَحَفَدًا. And then from your spouses, He created for you your children. It just becomes routine. You see your kids every day, but did you actually thank Allah for these children that He gave you? And later on in life, بَنِينَ وَحَفَدًا. He gives you grandchildren, if He gives you life long enough. All these blessings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is listing them off, and He ends this ayah by saying, أَفَبِالْبَاطِلِ يُؤْمِنُونَ وَبِنِعْمَةِ اللَّهِ هُمْ يَكْفُرُونَ. Are they going to believe, after all this, these children, the grandchildren, spouses, after all this, are they going to believe in falsehood? Are they going to attribute this to something they did? Are they going to worship something else? وَبِنِعْمَةِ اللَّهِ يَكْفُرُونَ. And they're going to be ungrateful of the ni'mah of Allah. After all this, is that really what they're going to do? And later on in the surah, again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَاللَّهُ أَخْرَجَكُمْ مِن بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ. Along the same line, Allah brought you forth from the wombs of your mothers. لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. And this is a very interesting thing. It translates, if you open the Quran, it said, and you knew nothing. So He brought you out from the wombs of your mothers and you knew nothing. وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. And He made for you hearing and seeing. He gave you intellect, just so that you may be grateful. But I want to go back to that part, لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. If you look at the Arabic of it, it's actually in the present tense. It's not لَا عَلِمْتُمْ شَيْئًا, that you didn't know anything. Allah says, we brought you forth from the wombs of your mothers and you don't know anything. Meaning you may have come all this way from being a baby to now, but you still don't know anything. لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. You come from that spot, from being a baby, you get your education, you become whatever you think that you've accomplished. You have kids, you have grandchildren. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, even after all that, لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. You still don't know anything. Also we're going to recite, وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. You've only been given a very little amount of knowledge. But all this that He gave you, what was the point of it all? وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ. What was the point of it all? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. Just that you may be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you have all these blessings and they didn't cause you to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you've missed the point entirely. If we don't take a second to reflect on our blessing, especially this month of all months, then we've missed the point entirely. And to wrap up this surah, Surah An-Nahl, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings up an example for us. He says, Inna Ibrahim kana ummah. That Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was a nation on his own. Kana ummah, qanitan lillahi hanifa. His perseverance, his devotion, his dedication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him a nation, an ummah, just on his own. And out of all the positive qualities of Ibrahim alayhi salam, in this surah, he highlights what? Shakiran li an'umi. That he was always grateful for every single one of his blessings. This is the ending of the surah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lists the blessings for us, and then He ends with an example of this man, Ibrahim alayhi salam. That he was a nation on his own, and what led him to be that is he was always grateful for everything that he had. Before we just gloss over this, I want us to think about the life of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Did he have an easy life? He was turned out from his home when he was a kid, bouncing from one city to another city. Yesterday we read in Surah Ibrahim, he was forced to leave his wife and children out in a barren wasteland at the time, not knowing that it was going to become Mecca. He was almost, he didn't know, he was ready to sacrifice his son. Trial after trial, hardship after hardship. But through all that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes him, shakiran li an'umi. He was always grateful for every single thing he got. اجتباه وهداه إلى صراط مستقيم. And because of that characteristic, اجتباه, he was chosen. وهداه إلى صراط مستقيم. And we guided him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides him to the right path. We are in a place now where we are overwhelmed with the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether we realize it or not. Every single one of us throughout the world have a different route to be guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But perhaps for us, living where we live, living in this part of the world, enjoying the blessings that we have, maybe this is the way that we can get guided. Shakiran li an'umi, just to really sit and reflect. Because our struggles aren't like the struggles of other people. I'm not minimizing anything, but maybe gratefulness is the way we can, اجتباه وهداه إلى صراط مستقيم, is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can guide us to the right path, if through nothing else. So this Ramadan, let's make it a point. As we listen to the surah tonight, make it a point. Reflect on the blessings that you have in life, the ones that you don't even think about. And sit and reflect on what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, and use that as a means to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and become one of the shakirin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding. Wa akhiru